Prices are dropping all over the country. Cattle menace is such a big thing.
Okay.
You remember Gau Mata, but you don't remember those who actually tend after Gau Mata.
They've
Not
also,
a word about those
they've
things.
also allocated
Not
money
a word about farmer suicide
for
and the
a
missing
new,
data on that.
Kamadhenu scheme. We're also joined by a new guest on the panel, Rajeev Chandrasekhar, entrepreneur and Member of Parliament. Prithviraj Chavan, former Chief Minister of Maharashtra, is also on the panel with us. I'll go to both of them and a quick word on the farm income support. Prithviraj Chavan, to you, Mr. Chavan, first. Yogendra Yadav says it's too little, it works out to 500 rupees per month. Here on our panel, Dr. Baru says it's not the amount, it is the intent of the government that's more important. What are your views? At least has the government responded to a constituency, even if they were coerced and forced to, at the fag end of this term, to respond to the farm distress, but at least have they shown intent that they are responding to an important constituency by announcing this basic income support for farmers?
No, I think this is a panic reaction to the announcement by the Congress president of the minimum income guarantee.
That's had to come.
Let
That
us
had to come.
also
No, it has an element of truth in it.
Okay.
that over last 5 years,
Okay.
the farm policies of the Modi government there been a complete failure of the farm policy of the Modi government, and because of the wrong import-export policy, wrong emphasis on the farm prices, where the minimum support prices have been raised only by 2 or 3% every year, and these policies have caused a tremendous farm crisis in the country. Now government is trying to respond to the farm crisis by giving this SOP of 500 rupee a month. Now that too to a particular segment of the farm community. Now this doesn't cover the landless farmer, doesn't cover the others in the rural economy. Only some certain amount of farmers with a 2 acre or less holding are being covered with a 500 rupee per month, which is a pittance. But it is an underlying admission of the fact that all the farm policies are completely failed.
Okay.
Now, the whole jumla about doubling the farmer income by 2022 in 7 years is again being repeated.
Okay.
But in order to double the income or increase it by 100% in 7 years would require an annual growth rate of 11%.
11%. Okay.
Well,
I'm
Modi
sure
government annual growth rate of agriculture is not even 2%.
I'm sure Rajeev Chandrasekhar will have a different view on this. Prithviraj Chavan says this is panic reaction, panic announcement to what Congress President Rahul Gandhi said earlier this week about a minimum income guarantee for poor households. In any case, it's too little, too late. 500 rupees a month will not sway the farmers as a constituency. Rajeev Chandrasekhar, your views on this?
No, I think it's election season and we should give Mr. Chavan the benefit of the doubt. He will say what he has to say. But here are the facts. This government, Prime Minister Modi's government, has made it very clear that he is transforming the agricultural economy and therefore the farmer at the center of that agricultural economy. He has clearly laid out a number of things that are in the pipeline for the farmers, including but not limited to an objective of doubling his income and announcement of a 1.5 MSP in terms of procurement prices. He has created a whole ecosystem of support for the farmer, and he has now come up with an initiative which is an income support scheme. This is not an income scheme. This is an income support scheme which is a transition measure to during the period that the farming economy and the farmers' economic situation is being transformed. Now, I don't see what is unconscionable or what is questionable about this. This is part of an overall scheme that the government has put into place.
Fair enough.
And he has now intervened, the Prime Minister has now intervened to create an income support.
Professor Yadav, Rajeev Chandrasekhar's point that this is not just an income scheme, this is an income support scheme, and it is one of many measures that have been taken over the last couple of years to address the farm distress, including raising MSP in 6 major crops, including other measures that have been announced in the last 6 months to a year or so.
In which case the government should answer my question. They have taken so many steps because of which farmers' income has gone up. So, and you have so many agencies which measure farmers' income. Why don't you report it to me? Tell me the farmer's income was this much in February 2016 when the Prime Minister had announced doubling of farmers' income in 6-7 years. And after 3 years, we've reached this point. So obviously, we would have information. Maybe Rajeev Chandrasekhar's point would come out very valid. Why is it that after repeated questions, here is a national mission. This is the flagship mission. So I'm announcing that within 6 hours, I will march to Delhi. And after 3 hours, are you not entitled to asking me, you were going to march to Delhi, but you've not moved out of your house. Why are you here? Why are you not marching? I'm asking just that question. Why doesn't Rajeev Chandrasekhar's government give me an answer to this question? Why is it that every data is silent on this? Why is it that we have stopped giving farmers suicide figures? Why is it that farmers' insurance figures are actually declining? They had said these figures will go up from 30 to 40 to 50%. The fact is that they went up from 24% to 28 and are now back to 24.
Okay.
Why don't we get information on these things?
Let's get him to
income
respond.
Support, not income.
Rajeev,
Obviously, the government cannot give income.
But
the point is
we're
it
3 years,
any substantial support?
3 years post the announcement that farmers' income will be doubled by 2022. I'm not sure we're anywhere close to that.
No, I think, Zaka, we have to be clear about what are we discussing. Are we discussing the merits and demerits of this budget, or are we discussing the need for further information and some questions that Mr. Yadav wants answers for? I am not the government, and I'm sure that if Mr. Yadav addresses a letter to the agriculture minister, he will answer him. But today we are discussing the budget, we are discussing a measure of the government of India, which is a part of an overall package that transforms the economics of the farmer.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I mean,
So,
I don't want to be...
I think his problem is,
Okay, I don't want to be stuck on just the
his
farmer
problem
point,
seems to be that he's not getting answers.
Yes, fair enough. I want to move on to some of the other measures that have been announced, and one of which, of course, is this changing of the basic income tax slab. Middle classes, Dr. Yadav, as a vote bank, there was a perception that some of the middle classes, because of fuel prices or other livelihood reasons, could potentially move away from the BJP. Will this changing of basic income tax slab from 2.5 to 5 bring back the middle classes to the BJP in the way that they voted in 2014?
I think I've already answered that question earlier, because no matter what you do in the last 6 months, you remember Mr. Chidambaram had that dream budget in 1997. What happened? His government lost in 1998. So I think these things do not make that kind of a difference, because things when done towards the end of a regime are seen to be tricks, and your motives are suspect, rightly so. So I don't know if it will make a difference, because at least middle class voters are smart. They are smart to demand it towards the end, and once you've given it, they are smart enough to say, okay, I forced him into doing so, and then go their own way. So I think normally any doles towards the end of the regime are of no consequence.
Rajeev Chandrasekhar, this is a dole, and this was in the BJP's manifesto in 2014, by the way.
Yeah. So I think Mr. Yadav has a point where governments that are for most part of their term insincere announce something in the last term that is seen as obviously something of a game, and people reject it. Please understand that this budget can be read along as almost a thread that has linked 6 budgets. That it has gone for transformation, it has gone for restructure or reforms, and at the end of the 5 years, the Prime Minister and the government is saying, look, the middle class has borne the brunt of the costs that were incurred in spending the money that the government had to spend for the poor, for the cylinder Ujjwala scheme, for the toilet making scheme, for Swachh Bharat. And now, at the end of this term, we are rewarding the middle class for bearing the burden for the last 5 years.
Okay, I'd request Rajeev Chandrasekhar as well as Professor Yadav to stay on for 1 second. Amit Shah, the BJP national president, is speaking to reporters in Parliament. His first comments on the budget. Obviously, we've had comments from the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh saying that this is the best budget in the history of India. We've had Nitin Gadkari saying he rates it 100 out of 10. We're trying to get that live feed from Parliament, where Amit Shah has just reached. He will be speaking to reporters. Let's listen in.
के अंदर पेश किया है वो बजट विकास को बढ़ावा